I have the pleasure of talking to someone who has the grace and the charm and who made a debut not too long ago in the critically acclaimed Gangs of Wasipur. Huma Qureshi, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
What was, thank you, nice to meet you. What was the experience working with Madhuri ji in a film like Dedh Ishqiya?
Well, Dedh Ishqiya, it was a pleasure really, because she's been an inspiration.
Right.
She's been someone I've grown up watching, like every other girl in the 90s. So, and she really is, a legend. So it was very special working with her. I of course I didn't have apprehensions, but I didn't know what to expect.
True.
Because you don't know what to expect from a superstar of that magnitude. But she is so wonderful and so easy to work with. It's really been a pleasure, honestly.
Makes things much easier on the set.
Absolutely. You know, she could have made it so difficult. She could have acted like like a diva, and all of us would be like.
And you never expected that.
I no, but she was really wonderful, and what I loved about her is her simplicity, and she has this very easy charm about her. You know, she just makes everybody at ease around her, which I think is wonderful.
That's nice. And any on-set conversations you guys can recollect from that really
Tons.
made your work much easier?
Tons. We were like a girl gang, really. Because I mean, Paban, Khalujan, Arshad and Nasir, so they have more scenes together, and
Right.
Madhuri ma'am and I have more scenes together. So it was sort of, it was by default that we'd end up hanging out a lot or talking between shots. And I found her to be a very easy conversationalist. You know, she would just talk about her children or the weather or the movie she'd seen or what clothes to wear, or she'd give me like a little fashion advice here or there. So just things like that.
It always goes a long way.
Yeah.
And you shared some screen space with Nasruddin Shah as well as with Ashwat Marsi. What was it like? What was the bonding like? Tell us a little bit about
Well, Nasir sir, of course, is a legend again. I am from theatre, so he's sort of, I've seen all his plays, and he really has been someone you look up to, and I'm a little scared of also, because I thought, what if I fumble, or there's a lot of Urdu in the films. So I was like, what if I fumble and my nuqtas go here or there, so he'll give me one scolding or something.
teacher.
Yeah, but he was, it's a perception. He has a very serious image. He's a very, very cool, fun guy, and he has great wit.
Yeah.
So he would just always, have something funny to say, or an interesting anecdote. Yeah, or he'll have an interesting anecdote. He has such a wealth of information and knowledge and experience. It's just great just chatting with him.
Right.
And Arshad, of course, is a mad one.
You call him circuit on the set anytime?
Yeah, he's whenever he's around, you can be sure he's going to be up to some kind of prank or antic or something, and he just makes you laugh. So, and he's so good as Babban, and he's so good
Absolutely.
because I believe his comic timing is just exceptional. As Babban, I think he's really sort of in this film he's killed it, as they say.
See it as.
Well, see, it is a male-dominated world. We have to live with that. It is a male-dominated industry. We have to live with that. And most stories do center around men, which is fine. But I think as long as you have today, what the trend is that more and more stories have a female point of view.
Right.
They may not be necessarily female-oriented,
Right.
but they have a female point of view, or they have a female protagonist who does something in the story, or takes the story forward, or is more layered and nuanced than just being like a glam doll, or a victim, or a diva, or a damsel in distress. So I think that's really important, because I've been very fortunate. I'm part of this new wave of actors and cinema that I've had the opportunity of playing characters which are nuanced, which are layered, which are much more than just looking pretty or crying or dying, or sacrificing. There's a lot more to it. You can't so Munia also in Dedh Ishqiya, I can't say she's a good person, or she's a heroine, or she's a victim. I can't put these adjectives to her, because
Right.
she's a character like everybody else, and she has a story, and she has an ambition, and she just goes along, and I think that's very, very interesting. I think that's a good thing for not just female but male actors as well, because earlier even the heroes,
Very true.
they were just the good guy and the bad guy.
And the villain's there and the kills
Yeah,
the
exactly.
absolutely.
Today, you could have a bad guy who could be like,
True.
the protagonist. Wolf of the Wall Street. I think
It's
about
pretty much like that.
it. It's the bad guy.
Based
who-
on the bad guy, and he becomes the hero in the end.
Exactly. So it's just a different point of view, and I think that's very interesting, and the audiences are loving it, because they're also
True.
bored of the.
They're more interactive that way, I think
Yeah, and they're more about life.
more
Life
about
is
life.
like that. You
Very
can't
true.
put people.
more realistic. It's not a
Exactly.
fantasized world.
Exactly.
Right. Nowadays, also with the kind of change of scripts, they're coming more bolder films like Kahani, and you see like the more artsy films. What's your take on the change of Indian cinema in terms of the subjects that are being made on?
Well, I think it's such an interesting time. I think everything is working.
True.
You have a film like, say, a Rowdy Rathore, which would work, which is your quintessential masala mainstream stuff, and you have a film like Kahani, which is about this pregnant woman looking for a missing husband, to a film which is like a Gangs of Wasseypur, which is 300 people, people you've never heard of, barring, you know, a Manoj Bajpayee. And yeah, and then it's talking in a language that you don't understand, and you know, like, so it's really sort of, so you know, it's exciting because you don't really know what's going to work and what's not going to work. But it, as a creative person, in the middle of all this, you feel very, I don't know, challenged. You feel very inspired because you feel anything is possible.
Very true.
You know, and when you feel anything is possible, then it just opens this whole box. So today, I mean, I may have debuted with the Gangs of Wasseypur, but I can still do an Ek Thi Dan, which is a quintessential mainstream film. I can do a Dedh Ishqiya, and I can even do maybe my next film, you know, which is to be completely different. And you know, and I think that's exciting because your options are more open. And I think it's a healthy way of growing because, I mean, and today you have a film. I mean, you have films that are doing bumper business. But at the same time, you also have these small niche films that are doing really well. So it's
and
really.
they have a market as well. They have kind of an audience that wants to watch the films.
Exactly, and I think that's just fantastic.
That's nice. Tell us a little bit about your Gangs of Wasseypur debut. I think it was one of the most critically acclaimed, and I remember seeing the premiere of the film. I was featured in the New York Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
And it was absolutely wonderful. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I've always said this, you know, I think films like Gangs of Wasseypur happen once in a lifetime. I was very fortunate it happened as my first film. So, you know, I mean, from then on, I knew I always had to keep doing something to sort of, you know, bettering myself or move along because the bar had been set so high. And it will always be a very, very special film. It was a film, I don't know how it got made.
Right.
It's a very, very difficult film to make.
That's a question I ask everyone.
We don't know.
The
I don't think anyone knows how it got made because it's just a, forget everything, it's a physically very difficult film to make because of the scale it was made at and you know, I mean, and considering the budgets we made it at, I mean, it's really miraculous how we managed to pull it off, and then for people to love it and to get the kind of critical acclaim, not just at the New York Film Festival or at Cannes. Also, I'm saying in a place like Bihar or Jharkhand or Delhi, you know, I remember.
Watch it there too.
Like my most favorite screening has been at the Ocean Film Festival because I remember there was the first time in India part 1 had released and part 2 had not released. It was releasing 2 weeks later, and we had done a special screening for the festival. And the kind of craze people had for the film. So after part 1 was screened, people were expected to leave. And the fresh lot of people were expected to come in at the City Ford Auditorium, which is about 2,500. No one left.
Wow.
So there were people waiting outside.
Glued to watch the next part
and so for 6 hours, and it's a long film.
It's a massive law,
People didn't get up to use the washroom or to get popcorn or take a break, and I was like, really? And just and just to kind of respond to the thunderous applause, or when Nawaz is dying, the kind of the passion that's there in the audience, it's just overwhelming. It was
that's amazing. I think also it makes you realize in today's world, people want to see something different, something that's more, it's relatable. Now, coming back to someone like a legend like Madhuri Dixit, what is the one thing that you've learned from her being on the sets of Dedh Ishqiya?
That she just so Dedh Ishqiya.
Dedh Ishqiya, I'm sorry, my bad.
From Madhuri ma'am, a lot of things actually. Her, just, you know, she has this great sense that no matter what is happening around her, she manages to keep her cool. I still get very hassled, or I get like very affected. I am quite an emotional person, so everything seems to affect me. But she's just quite a cool customer, you know. She'll just come, okay, what's happening? Okay, this has gone wrong. Okay, they'll figure it out. She'll be, you know, and she'll just hum her song. She hums a lot, you know, which is quite a calming thing to do. Or she'll just be very unaffected by what's happening, and that, I think that's brilliant because she just has realized, I guess, after I guess being in the industry for 30 years, that you can just as an actor do your job.
True, and have a space of your own.
Yeah, and you can't possibly get hassled because you don't have control over everything. So you should not even get bothered about letting it affect you. And I think I wish, you know, I become that mature and cool and collected one day.
You're well on your way to do that.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I still get affected by a lot of things, so that's okay.
And one more question about, you've done quite a very different kind of roles nowadays. What is the one thing you've learned? I think when you approach a role or a film or a character, what is the one thing you really see as relating to the script?
Something that I've not done before. Something that will challenge me. Something that will not be my comfort zone. You know, and I think see what happens when you do a film. People have a certain perception of you, and that perception stays until you don't do something to break that perception. And that's a constant struggle for every actor, no matter how established you are. Is to constantly try and reinvent yourself, because otherwise you just get so bored. already people are saying that, oh, I fit in this whole desi.
It's overdone and done, yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm bored of it. Now
Right.
I want to move on. I want to do something else because that is also a part of my personality that I've not explored.
Very true.
Maybe a comedy or
An action.
out now an action.
You're in action now, yeah. So
Maybe something like a romantic film.
a romantic film, yeah.
That's something I've not done or explored before, and I think that would be something that'd be
Something
quite
exciting?
exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the very best and thank you very much. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
much.
Pleasure. Hi guys, this is Huma Qureshi, and you're watching UrbanAsian.com.